Dr. Singh here. We are going to be doing our first interview for Naturopathic Medicine Week. Naturopathic Medicine Week runs this week, and every day at noon we're going to be doing a live Facebook video. Today I have the honor of sitting with our osteopathic manual practitioner, Sean Hauk. Sean, thanks for being here.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
This week, the theme of Naturopathic Medicine Week is health promotion and disease prevention. Sean, why don't we start by asking you, tell us a bit about yourself and what inspired you to pursue osteopathy?
All right, cool. So I've always been the son of a naturopath.
Yeah.
So I've always been using natural things. I used to be a singer, dancer, actor. I did that professionally for about 15 years. I still do it. Come see my show, May 23rd, Best Western. Shameless plug, it's right there.
And I must say he's amazing. I mean, I know, I definitely say he's amazing. A very talented guy.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
So yes, so you're a son of a naturopath.
So I've always been using natural products my whole life, and even when I was dancing in Stratford and stuff, like people would be like popping painkillers and everything, just to get through shows. Mm-hmm. And I never understood why they'd have to do that, because I never had to, and I guess I was just lucky because I'd always had some kind of complementary medicine. So I was doing a workshop for a show many, many years ago, and one of the characters was, he was a singer, and then he became an osteopath. That was his story, like when every character has a story. And that kind of got the seed going, and then I was like, and then I talked to my parents about it and asked them what osteopathy was, and they didn't know a huge amount, so I started doing a bit of research, and I thought, that's so cool, because osteopathy, very much like naturopathic medicine, treats the whole person as a whole and looks at the whole picture instead of just little aspects. That someone comes in for a knee problem, well, it might not be the knee, it might be that the hips are out, and that's what's causing them to limp and then put extra strain on that knee. So I found it fascinating in that aspect, and that kind of, that started the ball rolling, and then I went, okay, I think I'm done with acting for now, and I'm going to go back to school and pursue this, and I have, and it's 7 months in now, and it's been great.
Yeah, and I'm glad you have pursued that. So, again, what you're touching upon is that sort of foundation was already there in terms of your father being a naturopathic doctor. Yeah. So you've been around sort of the holistic approach to healing and well-being.
Absolutely.
And osteopathy obviously resonates and is pretty well in synchronicity with those principles and philosophies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How would you describe osteopathy?
It's a tough one because people think they get right away, they get osteopathy, they go, oh, bones, right? It's something to do with bones. Mm-hmm. And it actually comes from Greek osteo, and pathy, which means sensitive to, so sensitive to bones. But what it is it's there's multifacets to it. It's not just the manual, what's called mobilizations, but the idea is you want to get everybody into a neutral position. So, for lack of a better term, I kind of say osteopathy is kind of like a chiropractor, a massage therapist, and a physiotherapist all rolled into one. Mm. And again, we are looking at the whole person and treating everything that I see. So, and we have a lot of different things we can use, a lot of tools that we have. One is the mobilizations, like I said. One is the muscle energy techniques, strain, counter strain, cranial sacral osteopathy or cranial osteopathy. And visceral osteopathy as well, along with a bunch of other things. And I'm constantly learning new techniques and just even discovering things that work for certain people that maybe aren't a technique, but just based on knowing my anatomy and knowing my physiology and going, okay, I think I know that if I do this, this is going to move this, and this is going to move this, and then this is going to help that. Mm. That makes any sense.
No, it does. Thank you. I know you've had a lot of successes in your 7 months here. You're definitely helping people with some positive clinical outcomes. So how would you describe a typical initial visit with you?
Okay, the initial visit takes a little bit longer because I'm basically getting to know the person. I'm getting to know what their range of motion is, where there's strains, where there's pains. So for the first visit, we talk a little bit first. I find out a bit more about the history. A lot of issues can be traced back to sometimes a fall, sometimes it's bad posture, sometimes it's work related. It's also, we kind of look through that, And then I have them do a series of tests, nothing crazy, no backflips or anything like that. Unless people want to show off, then by all means, if there's room, go ahead. And then I have them walk around. I check the posture. I do a bunch of series of tests to again test range of motion and things like that. And then from that, I'm already gleaning what I'm going to do. And then I have them on the table. And then we do the first treatment. So it's not just a initial assessments, it's also the first treatment as well.
Excellent.
So it's a pretty good deal.
Yes, excellent. And then just to reiterate, so you actually, before you even implement or initiate treatment, you are going through all the process of your assessments, your range of motion, movement, before you sort of make a conclusion for yourself, how am I going to approach each individual case?
Yeah, exactly.
Great. What kind of health ailments are you seeing in your practice?
I see everything from just like people having aches and pains to people having issues, knee issues, joint issues. TMJ is a big one now. Temporomandibular joint disorder, which is jaw tension and things like that. A lot of people grind their teeth at night. So yeah, it's a bunch of different things. I've seen people for digestion. I've seen people for constipation. There's a lot of tools in the osteopathic toolbox. And depending what the issue is, we can address it.
Excellent. So very diverse and
yes.
very open to treating sort of all sorts of health concerns.
Exactly. Yeah.
So just a sort of a wrap-up question here. I know each case is individual, and you are looking at each person coming to you as an individual, unique case. How often would someone be seeing you for treatments?
Usually at the beginning, depending on the severity of it or whatever, I usually have people come like every week for the first little bit, just so we can kind of establish a base. Because when you're putting people back into neutral, and they have bad habits and bad posture and things like that, like Rome wasn't built in a day, so it takes time. So I'll have someone come in, the first week and say their hips are out like 3 inches or whatever, right? I'll put them back in, they'll come back the next week, their hips are out 2 inches. They'll come back the next week, their hips are out 1 inch, and then by the 4th week, their hips aren't out anymore. So already they're feeling a difference, right? Because the body always wants to move back to what it's adapted to, so you kind of got to just keep guiding it back. It's kind of like teaching a toddler. You're like, no, you don't want to eat that. That's gross. Yeah. But they're going to go back to trying to eat that, and then eventually they're going to be like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, I guess better not do that.
They will eventually learn.
Yeah, eventually they'll learn, right? So you're reteaching the body. Yeah, so I usually do that, and then after that, then we extend it, and then I have some people come see me every 2 months, just kind of check in and just see if anything's out, or if someone has a fall, or they did a lot of gardening one day and they're a little bit sore, they'll come in and see me.
Thank you very much, Sean. So Sean Hauk, our osteopathic manual practitioner. And just to finish off, to remind everyone again, this week we'll be doing Facebook Live lectures at noon. Other topics that are coming up: prevention for type 2 diabetes, history of naturopathic medicine over the last 30 years, keeping our kids healthy and active, weight management, and then on Wednesday, a very special lecture at the clinic. Dr. Simone Burke will be talking about natural protocols for longevity. So we hope you can tune in for those. And once again, thanks, Sean.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And have a great rest of the day, everyone. Take care.